morning. My name is Jay Rosenthal. I'm the Managing Director of Business of Cannabis. Welcome to the Cannabis Daily Show for May 6th, 2022. Since 2017, we've highlighted the companies, brands, people, and trends driving the cannabis industry. We look to do that here every day. We'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and always feel free to visit us at businessofcannabis.com, as well as through all of our social channels, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please do subscribe, and links to all of those things are also in the description below. Next week, on Thursday and Friday, we'll actually be doing this show on location in and around the Lift & Co. Expo. We'll be with our friends at Pinners, hopefully in their awesome Rolls Royce, cruising around downtown Toronto. Also, coming up in a couple of weeks, we are up for an Cannabis Best News Source Award. So please go to the link below and vote for us at Business of Cannabis. And then in September, we'll be in New York for Business of Cannabis New York, a 2-day event. We hope you'll be there with us. Information on that is below. For today's top stories, Illinois and out-of-state shoppers, who is behind the best U.S. cannabis tourism experiences, and Canadian store closures are coming. For our first story, Illinois cannabis sales are up 14.6% in April from the same time last year. This, according to the Cannabis Business Times. One reason, well, out-of-state shopping by residents of still illegal states, of which Illinois is lucky enough to be surrounded by 5. In April, 31% of the state's $131.8 million in sales came from those out-of-state shoppers. On average, the 110 open dispensaries in the state brought in $1.2 million in April, which is a lot, but competition is likely coming. Last summer, the state issued 185 retail licenses, but they can't open until the dust settles from a lawsuit arguing the state regulators discriminated against out-of-state applicants. Speaking of out-of-staters, for our second story, cannabis is driving tourism, with nearly 20% of adult Americans saying they are, quote, cannabis-motivated travelers. This in a story on Forbes. I know I am. And entrepreneurs are stepping up with some innovative cannabis-inspired experiences, like Detroit's Bud and Breakfast, where experience at the Copper House, Portland's gourmet cannabis-infused dinners by Liv Vasquez. And a lot of this is being ushered in by High B&B, which is right here in Toronto. Notably, a lot of women are behind these cannabis and tourism experiences. But why is that? Well, quote, more than the cannabis and the atmosphere, I think the thing that all of our customers share is a desire to connect and get vulnerable. This is from Copper House's Jessica Jackson in Condé Nast Traveler. Quote, it's about cultivating an environment that makes that possible, something big cannabis is not doing. For our final story, the CEO of Alberta-based Sundial Growers warned shareholders that recent store closures are likely to accelerate in the coming year, estimating that 1,000 stores across the country would be impacted. This, according to a story at MJ Biz. Now, there are a few reasons, and anybody who has visited Canada over the past few years can attest. There is increased competition. There is oversaturation in some areas. There is deep price compression. BC-based Choom, which recently obtained creditor protection and interim financing from Aurora Cannabis, blamed public health measures implemented by governments to slow the spread of COVID over the past 2 years. Quote, most retailers are struggling to be profitable, and we are starting to observe a trickle of closures on a weekly basis. This, according to Sundial Growers CEO. I expect to see massive store closures in Canada, with the total likely closer to 1,000 than 100. That could mean as many as a third of the stores close, which Cannabis Benchmarks, our partners, pins right now with 3,138 stores currently licensed. Those are the stories we're watching today. Join 12,000 others and catch all of these stories and more in your inbox every day at 7 a.m. Eastern with our Cannabis Daily newsletter. And for those keeping track, that was episode 77 of the Cannabis Daily Show. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube or wherever you caught the program. And please do subscribe. Have a good and safe weekend. We will see you on Monday.